Ever wish you were stuck in traffic? Yeah, me neither. Commuting to work in an airplane. This episode of In the Hangar.
I used to be a well-respected member of the aviation community, and then I started flying to Cirrus, and that changed.
Well, that was great until the engine quit.
And all of a sudden I see these explosions and these trees exploding.
I'm walking away a better pilot because of this discussion.
Hello and welcome to In the Hangar. I'm Dan Milliken at Taking, and joining me is Christy, even her hair likes to fly, Wong, at Pilot Christy. Christy?
Yes.
You can talk, by the way.
Thanks for that, Dan. Welcome to today's edition of In the Hangar. Today we are with Bill Goebel. Bill, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, you may remember Bill from our Wing Spar episode. Thank you so much for joining us back. But before we get into our discussion today, I'd like to talk a little bit about what you've got coming up.
Okay, well, what I've got coming up, well, first thing we're going to talk about flying to work, which
Yeah, we're going to talk about commuting in an airplane.
which is totally cool.
Yeah, it is
Totally
a very cool thing.
Totally cool. But another thing I'm working on is working with a couple other folks. We're doing a bunch of B-roll work right now, but we're coming up with a YouTube channel called HangaRatz, and it's more of the back shop maintenance. There's going to be some flying. There's the whole reason we do all this working on things is to go flying. So it's going to be, you're going to see some things that are going to be fun. It's not an education channel, but you're going to learn some stuff. It's not a comedy channel, but there might be some fun hoonery going on. It's not going to be
Shenanigans.
It's not going to be starchy, boring stuff. So we're going to be coming this fall. We've got the getting everything set up and all that. So you should see some fun stuff coming up. So that's what we're doing for fun.
All right, let's talk about commuting to work.
Commuting to work. I'm fortunate enough that I live in a little airstrip out in the country. So like everyone else, I keep my airplane in the backyard, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe not so much.
Why not?
Right? Not so much. So that's kind of cool. It's a lighted strip. We've got lighting there and all that. And then I work at a company that's right on the airport. So down at Grand Prairie Airport, south of DFW in Texas. Driving every day when I drive, it's about an hour and 10 minutes.
Wow.
It's about 55, 60 miles. Flying, it's 30 miles straight line. Or actually, I take it back, 35 miles straight line. It's about a 30-minute trip, okay?
So only half. You're only saving half the time.
Saving half the time, but less hassle, and
the cool factor.
I was going
There's
to say,
nothing.
there's a
factor.
definite cool factor.
Yeah, nothing cooler than I went to work today in my airplane.
well,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, and you can, you can surf the web and not bump into things. You know what I mean?
Oh, my
So-
goodness.
Busy Bravo.
Yeah. So, and that's something. It sounds like it's an easy thing to do and all that, but every morning I go out, I kind of have to check some stuff. So you're still flying.
Yeah.
You're still.
Yeah.
Flying. So I live in a little airstrip out in the country. So I'm what class airspace? G, right?
Right.
So I take off from G. Sometimes I go real high, a couple thousand feet, and I'm into E. Then I have to cross some D airspace. I go across Alliance.
Right.
Then I'm back into other airspace, and I'm under the Mode C veil, and I'm sliding under Class B, so I don't have to.
Do you ever go into the Bravo for DFW?
No, not intentionally. No.
It's not that bad.
The FAA is not watching this.
Yeah, FAA is not watching. But no, just for simplicity, I'll slide in. There's a 2,000-foot deck right there by Grand Prairie where we
Right.
come in. And so I just come in there about 1,800 feet. And-
So this is a great way, though, to build time. And I know
It's
you've
huge.
been
It's
working
huge.
on building time.
Yeah.
I did the same thing
So
when I
I'm-
was still in
yeah.
healthcare.
So it's 30 minutes each way. So every day it's a little over an hour. 4 or 5 days. On summers when we have really clear weather, I'm fortunate enough to do 4 or 5 days a week. Wintertime, a little different deal. I've got, again, it's weather. And in the winter, that's another thing. We have things called frost. And there's some days where it just isn't going to happen. It's
Right.
too cold or there's too much frost on there. I've been out there 5:30 in the morning with a garden hose,
Right.
washing, doing the de-ice. A lot of times your temperatures will be right at freezing or a little bit above freezing, so you're okay there. So there's things like that to be concerned about. Doing a pre-flight at 5:30 in the morning when it's dark is kind of you got to think about that. A lot of times I'll do the pre-flight the night before, double check everything, and then come out the next morning and do things like that.
What plane?
I've got a 150, believe it or not.
A 150, the
And-
original one, not a 152,
Not
not
just a 150 commuter. And again, what we did is my wife and I sat down and said, for this mission, what's the best aircraft? We took experimental aircraft, certified aircraft, 182s, Pipers, Cessna's Beach. And the 150 commuter, believe it or not, is a fabulous commuter for about a 35-mile flight. It's the best numbers, best economy, and all that. We bought it years ago for my son when he was a little munchkin. He could look over the panel. It worked out real well. So we've just kept it. So it makes a really great commuter. Again, less than 6 gallons an hour, 5.5 gallons an hour, something like that. And it's
Might even
very
be cheaper
economical.
than
Yeah.
gas in the car.
Yeah, it's kind of a trade-off, the gas in the car versus the price versus the speed. So it's kind of
But
that.
you're also accomplishing that other mission, which is the time building factor and
It's a
everything.
great way to build time.
How many horsepower is it?
100 horsepower on a good day,
Excellent.
on a good day, yeah, when everything's working.
Awesome.
So there's that kind of stuff. So again, we're going through airspace, we're talking to folks. We get into some fun stuff. I go across Alliance Airport every day. They know at 6 o'clock in the morning, they know So interestingly, here the last couple of weeks, I thought it was funny, they started calling me first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they call me because they see my light. They see over there. They see my nice LED light. And I go, 150 Whiskey Victor.
Clear to transition.
Transition. Clear for transition to the southeast. Like, oh yeah, thank you. Okay. so it's kind of cool, and you get to know the folks. And that's a cool thing too. The folks at Grand Prairie Tower, they know me. The folks at Alliance Tower, they kind of know me, or they know the plane.
You know, I hadn't thought about that factor of commuting on a regular basis in your airplane. You get to know, I guess, and other people that are flying for a living and doing the same routes. I guess they have that same thing. They get
Well,
to
yeah,
know.
because you're at an uncontrolled field where
I'm
there's-
flying all over the place, so I
Exactly.
don't get to know anybody.
Or I'm burning a track in the phosphor on their screen.
Right.
So they know that what I'm doing. And again, it works out well. They kind of know what my plan is. So what happens is, oftentimes I'll be coming across Alliance. They're going to be launching A300s out of the FedEx hub. And they can either bomb me out one way, or they can, just come up. They know that if they bring me up on parallel on one side, cross midfield, it works out great. It's a total non-event for them. So they're very accommodating. What also works well is dropping off Christmas baskets full of stuff. Oh, hell yeah.
Dropping Christmas
Well,
baskets?
I land, and.
Oh, okay, I was about to say,
But no,
the FAA is definitely not watching this now.
there's an FAR against that. We don't want to, no, but.
Well,
no.
you can as long as it's, anyway.
Yeah,
we'll get
we're
into
not
that.
going to do that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, schmooze them. What the heck? A good friend of mine, he does a lot of flight through the DFW area, and cakes show up at TradeCon, a couple times a year
I
with
take
his N number on
tacos.
it.
You've taken tacos.
I have taken
Oh, yeah.
tacos to my local tower controllers at Denton.
Yeah, it works out well. It's just a fun thing. Then the thing is, they know what I'm doing. 150 Whiskey Victor is going northwest to southeast and vice versa. So it works out really well. And then there's other things you got to do too. I'm flying at night all the time. I got to make sure all my lights are working. I got to make sure that I've got my extra flashlights and that kind of stuff. Windshield, whether it's foggy or frozen or that kind of stuff. Like I said, frost is a big
You're
thing
not
for me.
peaky on the 150.
I wouldn't imagine.
and is your 150 hangared? Are you?
Oh no, hell no, no. It's
Okay,
not
so
that.
it's outside.
Yeah,
okay.
it's outside. It's just the old horse outside.
Yeah.
But again, you got to take care of that kind of stuff. Real important. Like I said, that kind of stuff is real important. Checking weather. Now, again, I've got my personal goes and no goes.
Okay,
This
let's
is
talk about
fun.
your minimums.
And we're VFR. We're VFR in the morning. We're VFR night. In the evening, we're VFR day. It's middle of the late afternoon. So again, VFR minimums. If I was to go IFR, the amount of driving or flying I would have to do to go to the initial and come back, it's quicker driving. You know what I mean?
okay.
So this is a
So
fun
no
deal.
IFR ever.
No IFR, and it doesn't make sense. So, but again, visibility is real big. I was talking to Christy a little earlier. METARs lie and TAFs don't tell the truth. So there's oft times where I'll look at the weather, and again, knowing what's going on in the area and all that, you got to play it. Temperature dew point. You always hear about temperature
Right.
dew, something to check.
Yeah.
That's something I
Yeah.
check every day. Every day religiously, and it can bite you. So don't get near that,
Let's talk about that. Why can the temperature dew point spread bite you?
because it'll snap that quick. I've flown.
Because it'll become IFR.
Yeah, it'll
because
become
you've
up. I've flown where I know that I've got the sun hasn't come up. I'm not going to get the thermal transition. I've got a spread. I've got clear and 10 miles, no visibility. I'll fly in again dark, no thermal heating at all. I'll go out there an hour and a half later, I can't see the airplane on the ramp because the numbers came together, boom, IFR, 100-foot ceiling.
So let's talk about that for a second. Have you ever gotten into a situation where let's say you flew to work, you landed the airplane, and then later that evening you went to go home and now you're stuck because thunderstorms, IFR, et cetera?
Yes.
Okay, what do you do?
So you've been stuck at work?
No, I've been stuck at Meacham Airport, which is halfway home. Which
Right.
is all of 15 miles down the road. Sometimes in Texas we have what I call textbook weather. And in the afternoons you're going to have the thermal, the big cume buildups and all that stuff. Great. If you have frontal weather, it's a little bit different. Again, TAFs lie. So I'll go in there with a 5:30 in the morning TAF, and I'll have some pretty good stuff. What I found too is the DFW TAF and the Navy-based TAF here. The Navy are overachievers when it comes to weather. So, so I always kind of like to look at their TAF because it's normally quite in depth. But there are some times with the afternoon build and all that stuff that I've only been in 8 years. I've been stuck once.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So my wife came down, picked me up, took her out to dinner. Win-win.
Oh, there you go.
So it works out pretty good.
That's a wife I approve.
Yeah. So like I said, that kind of stuff. And then visibility, it's basic VFR visibility. I know that I can only, 2,000 feet is what I need. I'd like to have 500. I pretty much ask for, when I'm looking at my viz, I want to see 3,000, okay? When I'm flying at 2, I want 1,000 feet. I don't want VFR mins. I want 1,000 feet above me. You see some of this stuff, less than 3 miles, clear clouds. Have you ever flown in that stuff VFR? You don't want to do that. Some of these visibility minimums were developed back in biplanes when you're going 60 miles an hour. So again, this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. So
you don't push it?
I don't push it. No.
Yeah.
Do not push it.
Well, now, I will say this, by the way. The whole reason why I know that Bill commutes. So, first time I met Bill face-to-face was when we did the Piper Wingspar AD video. We had Facebooked and this and that, but that's the first time face-to-face. So then after that, I get busy with my day job, which at S Films, we're doing corporate communications, videos, and marketing and stuff like that. One of my clients has a big factory right off of Grand Prairie Airport. So I'm down there shooting, and I look over, and it's a helicopter company. So there's helicopters everywhere, but in the corner of the lot is sitting a Cessna 150. I'm like, that's really weird. We're at a helicopter place. I wonder who does that. And we talked with the crew. I bet it's a commuter. I bet it's somebody who works here who's flying that down. And then the next day I'm shooting and I hear, hey, Dan, and I didn't recognize it because he shaved his beard. But it's Bill, and Bill is the commuter. Bill is the one flying the 150. So it's like small world.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That's pretty amazing. The cool factor is off the charts. Gary would give it 11 if his Gary the judgmental chicken's meter went to 11.
Yeah.
And then we have some fun stuff. Again, the controllers and that kind of stuff. The controllers at Grand Prairie, really pretty good folks. I know if you're from Grand Prairie and you don't like them or you have problems with them, they're actually pretty cool folks. Bring a basket around Christmas time, just saying.
That probably turns a lot of people to cool people.
Yeah, so they're really nice. But my typical clearance out of Grand Prairie is intersection departure at off of Bravo intersection, right turnout, normal traffic pattern is to the east, right turnout. The Jerry 1 procedure, that's my go to the stadium for the house transition. They know me.
So you get your own routing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's it, because it's the same thing every day. And what
Jerry
they
1 and the house transition. That's awesome.
So again, it works out pretty well. But they know that I'm going to take a right turn and go to the northwest. Works out pretty well. So it's really good. Again, you're still flying. You still have all the things you need to be concerned about, whatnot. It's I wouldn't say it's boring, but you see a lot of unique things. It's actually, as far as cool factor goes, at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm flying between Dallas and Tarrant County. There might be a Fort Worth helicopter out, myself, and maybe a Southwest jet at the 2,000 foot level. And then there's 200,000 cars at the 600.
Oh yeah, I've done that before. Flying over like, look at these guys.
know.
I'm in my
Yeah.
airplane.
And all those red lights and all that. So that part really makes you appreciate it.
Well, and I wonder for all of those who don't work next to an airport, What are the commuting possibilities? I mean, I guess you could always park a car at an airport if you have a long commute.
Yeah, and that's where you'd get with your FBO. Get with an FBO,
Yeah.
and they know the program. They can also queue your aircraft, get you some parking up closer on a flight line, that kind of stuff. You get some other things such as terrain issues. California, you've got a mountain ridge, and to try to drive around it is a pain. Where it might be just a 5-minute hop, it might be 10, 15 minutes to get out to the airport, drive to the airport, but it's a 5-minute hop over the ridge, as opposed to an hour and a half drive around. So again, there are some opportunities. Keep a bicycle at the FBO, things like that. So if you're a couple blocks away or a half mile away,
Oh, yeah, that'd be a
Yeah.
good question. What do you do at lunch? I mean, do you always have to bring your lunch now, or do you hang a ride with somebody to go to
I either mooch
Whataburger?
or I just taxi across the airport and get a hamburger.
Mooch.
This is true. There is a really
You
good
mooch to
airport
munch.
cafe.
Exactly. So sometimes I fly, maybe 5 miles away to Executive and get a hamburger at lunch.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So it's a fun thing. If you can do it, it's fun. It's a great way, like Christy was saying, great way to build some time.
Well, Bill, thanks so much. Appreciate you coming and sharing some time. We'll have you back on, talk about some other things.
Cool beans.
Because you've got such a wide variety of experience being a pilot and an A&P, AI, and all that. So thanks for coming.
Anytime.
All right. So thank you guys for watching. And if you commute in your airplane, drop us a comment and let us know how you do it. Do you work near an airport, or do you have to make special arrangements? We'd love to hear from you, so leave comments. And if you like the show and the channel, please share and subscribe. And we'll see you next time in the hangar.